Number one on this list involves a TV finale that was filmed nearly a decade before it aired, locked in stone so tightly that even years of fan backlash could not change the ending everyone actually watched. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why these shows ended the way they did. Number 8. St. Elsewhere ended its 6-season run with one of the strangest twists in television history. In the final moments, a boy named Tommy Westfall stares into a snow globe containing a tiny model of the hospital from the show, while his father stands behind him dressed as a construction worker instead of a doctor. The implication was that the entire series had just been a story imagined by an autistic child. Writers later admitted the twist was inspired by the infamous Dream Season retcon on Dallas, and the idea eventually spiraled into an internet theory claiming that dozens of other shows connected to St. Elsewhere exist only inside that same boy's imagination. Number 7. The 1997 finale of Roseanne quietly erased an entire season most fans had already watched. Throughout the 9th season, the Connor family had supposedly won the lottery and lived a life of luxury. In the final episode, Roseanne Connor reveals through narration that she had actually been writing a novel based on her family, and several major plot points from that final season, including the lottery win, were fictional embellishments she invented for the book. The show quietly implied that in the real version of events, her husband Dan had died of a heart attack much earlier, a detail so dark that most casual viewers missed it entirely. Number 6. Angel was never supposed to end the way it did. Creator Joss Whedon had story arcs planned for at least one more season when the WB abruptly announced in February 2004 that season 5 would be its last. With only a handful of episodes left to shoot, the writers scrambled to compress years of intended storyline into a single rushed finale. One of the biggest last-minute changes was killing off the character Wesley, a death Whedon has said he would not have written if the show had been allowed to continue as planned. Number 5. When 2.5 Men ended in 2015, the writers used the finale to publicly settle a score. After Charlie Sheen was fired from the show in 2011 following a very public feud with creator Chuck Lorre, the writers invited Sheen back to appear in the series finale as himself. Sheen turned down their joke pitch, which involved delivering a ranting monologue before being crushed by a falling piano, and pitched his own sentimental idea instead. The writers rejected his version, cast a look-alike in his place, and dropped the piano on the double anyway, along with Chuck Lorre himself, in one of the most openly hostile finales in sitcom history. Number 4. Dexter ended its original run in 2013 with its title character abandoning his son and disappearing into the wilderness to live as a lumberjack, a twist so unpopular that fans were filmed yelling at their televisions. Former showrunner Clyde Phillips, who had left the show years earlier, revealed he had a completely different ending in mind, one where Dexter is executed and sees the ghosts of every victim he ever killed. Showtime was reportedly resistant to killing off its lead character, and the backlash to the lumberjack ending was so severe that Phillips eventually returned nearly a decade later to write Dexter New Blood, a revival built specifically to give the character the death many fans had wanted all along. Number 3. Battlestar Galactica almost ended in at least 3 completely different ways. Creator Ronald D. Moore has said his team considered a version where Ellen Tigh turns into the story's ultimate villain out of jealousy and betrayal, and another where Galactica crash lands and is discovered buried in Central America thousands of years later. A 2007 writers' strike even forced the crew to film one mid-season episode so it could function as an emergency series finale if the strike never ended. The version that finally aired ran through years of rewrites, and even one of the finale's very last lines of dialogue was quietly changed during filming from what was originally scripted. Number 2. Gilmore Girls did not end the way its creator wanted for almost a decade. Amy Sherman Palladino, who created the show and ran it for 6 seasons, has said she always knew the 4 words she wanted to end the entire series with. But she left the show before its 7th and final season over a contract dispute, meaning the 2007 finale that actually aired on the CW was written without her and without her planned ending. It was not until Netflix brought the cast back nearly 10 years later for Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life that Sherman Palladino finally got to deliver the exact final 4 words she had been holding on to since the show first began. Number 1. How I Met Your Mother locked in its ending years before most viewers even knew where the show was headed. Back in 2006, during just the show's second season, creators Carter Bays and Craig Thomas filmed the finale's climactic scene with the child actors playing Ted's kids, worried the young performers would visibly age out of their roles if they waited any longer. That decision meant the ending, including the death of the mother and Ted returning to Robin, was locked in stone 8 full years before it aired in 2014. When the finale finally arrived, the backlash was so intense that a Change.org petition demanding a new ending gathered more than 5,000 signatures, and the creators eventually released a re-edited alternate ending on the season's DVD set that quietly erased the mother's death entirely. If any one of these decisions had gone differently, some of the most talked about show endings in television history would look completely unrecognizable today. Which one of these surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more hidden entertainment history like this, subscribe, because there's always another story behind the story.